For real this time. Did you make my eyes quit?
So extra. Yo, what's good? What's up? Yo, so we back with episode goddamn 31.
31.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure you follow us on goddamn Instagram at What's Really Going. Follow us on Twitter at
_ WRGO.
There you go. Follow us on or subscribe on the YouTube page at What's Really Going.
Where we just put up a little video.
Oh yeah, make sure you
Follow
tune into
YouTube.
that video. That's
What's
a
really
good
going
video.
on the streets? Monthly video for y'all.
Yeah, that was a good video. Make sure you
Good
check
little
it out. Subscribe on Spotify. What's really going on? Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Yeah.
Governor John Bel Edwards, the governor of Louisiana, a Democrat.
That's what threw me off about this.
Right. He signed a bill banning abortion after the detection of a heartbeat, which can occur after 6 weeks of a pregnancy. This is the sixth type of bill to be passed in recent months and doesn't include exceptions for rape and incest. The other bills were Georgia, Mississippi, Kentucky, and Ohio. This bill won't take effect unless Mississippi's law is upheld in federal court. When I first read this, I said, wait, doesn't Louisiana have a Democratic governor? Yes, they do.
That's what threw me off. We talked about this a few episodes, how like the Republicans have like for a long time been going after the judicial branch to like appoint judges because those are long-term effects. Those are long-lasting effects. And that's why like for instance abortion has come back up because we recently put a Supreme Court justice up who could possibly make Roe vs. Wade like not important no more. So all of this stuff is just like
all coming to a head.
It's like a puzzle. It's crazy, man.
It said that our greatest fear was that they were just going to say, "Hey, court, you decide," or "Hey, judge, hey, jury, you decide what's necessary."
Right.
And then they're going to bring the officer up who's going to say, "Oh, I just felt threatened," and they're going to take that as word as bond. And the other person can't speak for themselves because they might be dead.
Exactly.
So, like, I think that's...
It's the same.
Yeah.
To me, it's going to be the same thing that's going to happen. I mean, I guess it says, hey, we're trying, but we need to better define these words or put policies in place that hold police accountable in these situations. This man been wild.
Wilding out. We're going to get into that. So Trump banned travel to Cuba. So last week, the Trump administration imposed travel restrictions on Cuba, banning forms of educational and recreational travel. I went last November, so bless us.
Shout out to you.
Someone said, Cuba is the only country we are not allowed to go to. We can go to Russia, but for some reason Trump has something against Cuba. Game. That person.
I've supported the Hyde Amendment like many others have. Because there was sufficient monies and circumstances where women were able to exercise that right. If I believe healthcare is a right as I do, I can no longer support an amendment that makes that right dependent on someone's zip code.
All right, so that was former Vice President and presidential hopeful and leading candidate Joseph Robinette Biden.
You know how I feel about you.
He said that his views changed after watching states pass restrictive abortion laws. When he said it, there were already states that were passing restrictive abortion laws. We talked about Georgia and Missouri 3 weeks ago, and we talked about the heartbeat bill in Ohio 5 weeks ago, and he said this last week.
Nah, him flipping like this is not cool for me personally, and that's why I still feel the way I feel about him. He like that's like the criminal bill. Oh, I feel now.
This is concerning. So a Trump proposal would change civil liberties, dictating whether providers must care for patients who are transgender or have had an abortion. It also weakens protections for race and age. So this basically would remove the rule that allows health officials to punish providers for discriminatory behavior. So basically, if your health provider is wilding out saying, "Oh, we're not going to do it because you're black or because you're Muslim," they basically, the Department of Health and Human Services, they're basically going to be like, "Okay, well, we can't punish them." This rule from the Health and Human Services Department comes within a week of the Housing and Urban a Housing and Urban Development proposal headed by Sir Ben Carson that would allow homeless shelters to turn away people based on their gender identity. My biggest thing was, this shit is crazy.
Where the
like
is this country
And I think, like,
headed? It does speak to the power of social media.
It does.
Because
It does in a positive way.
In 2002, when they were exonerated, social
No,
media
it
wasn't that really popular.
And who's the columnist or the personality
Right.
who's going after her with
Exactly.
everything they got?
So you could see why she's now just not
Yeah.
getting a repercussion. It's just sad that it took this long.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, she was forced out of a nonprofit, dropped from her book publisher. Make sure you definitely go check out when this is now.
So recently, Forbes named her as the richest female musician with an estimated net worth of $600 million. So she is the first black woman to lead an LVMH fashion house, which includes brands like LV, Dior, YSL, Hublot, Hennessy. I found that interesting when I did my research. Rihanna told the New York Times in May, "Money is not it for me. It's always the thought that I can help someone else." In 2017, she was named Humanitarian of the Year by Harvard due to her founding of the Clara Lionel Foundation, which supports global education and health efforts in underserved communities across the globe. This is just about Sudan. I think there's been a lot of talk about this issue in black circles.
Yeah, black
in
social media. That's what I'm like. I don't really, yeah.
But I think we'll try to give you all the explanation of like what's happening and what this really is.